السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وقال الله تعالى في مقام آخر قل للمؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم ويحفظوا فروجهم وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الدنيا مزرعة الآخرة وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما الأعمال بالخواتيم أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created the mankind with three major ingredients. One is called the apparent, this body that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He gives us as a natural wealth. The person who is born healthy with all the organs is blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The eyes are functioning, ears are functioning, hand and feet are functioning. The children who are born without complete organs, defected organs, they are suffering rest of their life. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created nafs, and nafs has temptations, desires. This dunya that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He made and put a lot of temptations into this dunya, and the nafs like to enjoy this dunya. This is also a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that if we do not have those desires, we will not able to function and enjoy our body. For example, if we have to produce children and we have no desires, how we can enjoy our family and how we can enjoy our children. If we do not have a desire to eat, some people, they don't have this desire. Regardless how nice food you cook, there's no desire, no appetite. The person is going to say, no, thank you, I don't want to eat. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave us this nafs, which is also a blessing, that we have desires and we try to fulfill our needs through this nafs, alhamdulillah. Body and nafs both are created as alam khalq. This is makhluk. They both are makhluk. This is creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is another thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gifted us, which is ruh. And this is Amr Rabbi. The Sahaba asked Rasulullah, tell us about ruh. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He replied, tell them, this is Amr Rabbi. Amr means command. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created things by alam khalq and also by Amr. Amr means kun, that Allah, He decided to do something and He gave the command, kun, fayakun, and then things happened. So with kun and fayakun, things happened, is this ruh, malaika, jannat, jahannam, and kursi, loh, kalam, and all the ma'bad al-maut, everything which we're going to face inshallah, this all is created by Amr, command. So the mankind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He created, He mixed these two things together, and Allah gave them fazilat and gave them maqam taskhir, that now this person, he will live in this dunya temporarily, and his job and his maqsad, he is assigned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you will use your body and you will control your nafs, and you have to protect your ruh. If your nafs is uncontrolled, then it will become amara. Amara, nafs will only do sin. He will have desire uncontrolled. He will continue doing things, and then mostly we here in our society, we say, please do what you like to do. What is the meaning of do what you like to do? This means what your nafs is desiring, keep doing, and good luck to you, no problem. No one can ask you. He said, I will do what I like to do. Very simple thing. Don't bother me, don't say anything, no arguments. I don't want to talk to you, I will do what I like to do. This means I will live my life the way my nafs command me, that's what I will do. And the other person, he will understand, you do according to your nafs, I will do according to my nafs. In Islam, it's not like that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created us for some assignment. There's some job assigned to us. And the job is that you have to protect your ruh. Otherwise, when you do what you like to do and you don't follow the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because all the commands of Allah help the ruh to flourish, to grow and get stronger. When the ruh gets stronger, automatically nafs become mutmainna. The nafs start becoming mutmainna. You get under control, and ruh keep giving the command. Like for example, our nafs wants us to sleep in the morning. We don't want to wake up early in the morning. That's the time mostly people have a deep sleep. But ruh command us that to the nafs, you have to wake up in the morning. Why? Because you have to pray Fajr Salat. You have to pray Fajr Salat. So nafs desire is to sleep, but the command is so strong from the ruh, because ruh is strong because of your zikrullah, your ibadah, all this practice that you've been doing, recitation of the Quran and all these things was helping the ruh to get stronger. So then ruh is stronger and commanding to the nafs to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the body automatically follow and do the same actions what ruh is doing, and the nafs is under the control. This concept everybody understand. Number 2 concept I want to give, that there is one way of living that you have to protect your rights. This is a very common perspective of some people, that look, I have my rights and I have to protect. If your right is that you have certain things, like if your house, and your house has a boundary, now nobody can trespassing through your property, and you will put it over there a sign that no trespassing. No one can walk through here. If someone is going to walk on your grass, what's going to happen? Will he really damage your grass? No, not really, but you're not going to like it, because this is your right. This area is your area. No one can trespass over there. So this is one perspective of living, that everyone have assigned their rights. Similarly, if you are putting your hand on somebody's car, you're just standing over there, and when you went outside and you saw some boys are standing over there, and one is leaning on your car, another is standing and putting a hand over there, and the moment you're going to see this guy, he's putting a hand on my car, he didn't damage it, he didn't do anything, you're not going to like it. Why? Because your right is that this is your car, this is your property, no one should touch it. This is your right. So you're going to say, why are you touching my car? The moment. And if they see you, the owner is coming, immediately they're going to be on side, and they're going to say, sorry, that's your car? Okay, good. That's your car, no problem, So no one can walk through your property, no one can touch your property, the same thing, if there is two people standing across the street, one is on one side, one on the other side. I saw one time there was two guys, it was a busy road, and one is on this side, other is on this side. For some reason, they have to communicate and they have to say something to each other. The guy, he said to other, Abdullah, and then Abdullah looked at that, oh, it's my friend Abdurrahman, mashallah, how are you doing? Then they start talking to each other. Abdullah and Abdurrahman is talking to each other. You go do this, and they are talking so loud. The traffic was getting slowed down over there. I noticed that. Because they are talking so loudly to each other, and everyone gets slowed down, look here and there. What is happening over here? Why these guys are talking so loudly? They are friendly talking. They are not fighting. They are not doing anything wrong. But since they are talking loudly, so people, they don't like that. People, they don't like that. Why they are talking so loudly? So this means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave us a gift, it's a natural wealth that we can speak, but there is some limitation. You cannot talk so loudly, automatically. Same thing. You have something, for example, another person starts staring you, start looking at you. You're sitting in a bus, for example. Another person, he come and start looking at you, So what you're going to feel? Uncomfortable. You're going to say, why he's, staring at me? What's wrong with him? Why he's looking at me? It's something uncomfortable. He's not supposed to do such things, You cannot look somebody and, staring like that. You're going to be uncomfortable. And especially if you have something valuable, you're going to try to hide it. You have money or something. You're coming from the bank, for example. Now you have withdrawn some amount of money. You're going to try not to people see, or people should not notice when I was taking this money from my bank. Why? Because people, if they're going to see, maybe you're going to feel uncomfortable that he can hurt you. So this means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave us all this body, all these organs. We have to use our eyes properly. We have to use our ears properly. We have to speak properly. We have to touch something properly. We have to walk through properly. And for that, the society decided to create a legal system called rights. You have your rights and you have boundaries, and other people have to take care of your rights. This is one perspective. There is another perspective, which is Islamic perspective. Yes, people have their rights, no problem to that. But at the same time, Islam gave us responsibilities more than rights. You are given some responsibilities. For example, a child born in a family, now it is the responsibility of parents to nourish this child properly. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put all the responsibilities of parents for parenting. How you gonna parenting, your child. Similarly, the child grew up. Now he's getting bigger. When you look into Islamic books, you will surprise, the rights are not written over there. Although there are rights, but mostly you're not going to see rights of people. The writing is a little bit different. The writing is towards the responsibilities. So responsibilities for parents to nourish the child properly. Then the child grew up. Now it is the responsibility of a child to take care of their parents. Everything that you read, the style of writing, that the command of Allah will be responsibilities of a child. When it comes to a husband and wife, you get married now. So when you study the books, you will surprise all the responsibilities are written over there of husband responsibilities. The husband has to behave in such a way. Not the rights of woman, woman rights. It's not written like this way. If you see other chapter is the responsibilities of wife towards the husband is written there. This is the responsibilities of a wife to take care of this. Same thing, the responsibilities of your neighbors. How to take care of your neighbor, not the rights of me towards my neighbor. No, responsibilities, how you going to take care of your neighbor. Then responsibility of your town, where are you living. Responsibilities when you are traveling together. Responsibilities when you are coming into this masjid. What are your responsibilities to take care of this masjid? This is written everywhere. You're going to see all responsibilities are mentioned over there. So now we understood that there are one way to think, one perspective is that rights, that you have to protect rights. And other perspective is that you are given responsibilities and you have to fulfill your responsibilities. So these two things are having a major difference. When you are protecting your rights, you are defensive. You are defensive. And you're going to be fighting with other people. You're going to be angry with the people because they're going to be violating your rights moment to moment. Whenever you notice that, he is, coming and he is trespassing through my area. This is my right. This is my place. It's my car. He should not touch because this is my right. All these things, whenever somebody is doing, you're going to be angry and you're going to be defendant. When you are given a responsibility and this perspective, if you are living your life, now you are a totally different person. Because one command is that your responsibilities, if other person is violating something, your another job is to tolerate and do isar. This is another concept of Islam. Sacrification. That's another concept. Subhanallah. If someone, he talked to you bad, something harsh word, you can do the same thing to him, not more. But if you sacrifice and you have isar, you forgive him, let him, So Islam likes that. Even somebody walk through your area, you're not supposed to do, you're still gentle and telling him, brother, don't do like this. This is something wrong. I'm sure that this is going to be more effective to tell this brother about taking care of your things. Yes, you have a right, but your responsibility is to take care of another person at the same time. So this whole society will be very peaceful, loving, and having a brotherhood with each other. This is Islamic way of living life. Subhanallah. Now I come to my maqsad. This is my basic introduction, but I want to tell you, this is something very sad. The society said that it's my body. If I cover, if I don't cover, it's my body, doesn't matter. So I can live my life. If I'm having shorts, I'm having, not clothing properly, it's not harming anybody. No, but this is harming everybody because now you are not covering yourself properly. Somebody gonna be forced to see you. That's another problem. Islam don't want. Islam is telling you, you have to control your gaze. You have to be modest in your life. But the other person, he feel like, no, this is my body, I can have the way I like it. Yes, same thing. This is your eyes, this is your ears, this is your tongue, this is your hand and feet. You are not allowed to trespass. You are not allowed to touch anything. You are not allowed to see anything what you desire. You are not allowed to speak so loud someplace. Similarly, you are not allowed to walk someplace naked. You're not allowed. No, you're not supposed to. There is some discipline over here too, because this affects on other people. It affects on the life of other people. Similarly, the voice is disturbing. Same thing, this is disturbing. But the perspectives are different. Like I gave you some examples. These are different perspectives. But in Islam, this is something. Modesty is considered as a natural wealth. A person who has a modest life, it is like a God-gifted, فَإِنَّ الْحَيَاءَ مِنَ الْإِيمَانِ. That Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned this modesty is part of Iman. We are believers. I notice some people are coming in this, some masajid, and their dressing is not proper. They're sitting in the row of, saf, and their shirt is so short, and a slit is open from the back. And the person who's sitting behind and is praying and trying to pray and trying to concentrate. What this guy is doing, why he don't know, I'm going into the house of Allah, there will be many other people, I'm going to be disturbing their salat. A person who's coming with the shorts, he don't realize that. Why? Because we get so used to with other perspectives. We're not aware of our Islamic perspectives. Basically for clothing, let me tell you, there is a very simple ruling. The simple ruling is that you can dress anything you want. The stitching and designing in Islam is not mandatory, But the thing which is a mandatory, that you should have for a man one covering, and two coverings from this satar area, which is the satar. There should be two covering over there. For a lady, because her whole body is a satar, so she should have two covering for her chest and also this area. Should be two covering, two sheets there should be. But if, even if you see when there is a mayyat, someone died. So for men, we are covering two sheets area, like the three sheets covering we use for the mayyat to give the shroud. So for a lady, we put extra one sheet on her chest. An extra, one more. Her head is also covered and her chest is also double covered. Why? Because this area and the bottom, which is the satar area, these are the two areas which is attractive. So if a person who is coming with a short, small t-shirt kind of thing, and he's not covering his back, automatically, he's having one sheet of covering. So this design is no good. I'm not against of any stitching or any style, but this kind of one covering is not likely in Islam. So if you decide to have a two covering long shirt, alhamdulillah, use it. no problem. No one gonna feel any uncomfort because of you. So, haya is modesty is part of iman. Al-haya'u la ya'ti illa bi khair. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned that the khair will come. Whenever someone has a modesty, it will bring the khair. What is khair? Khair means, something will give you benefit in this life and hereafter. Should be khair. In this life, for example, if you are covering a modest life, your surrounding will be peaceful. No disturbance. And at the same time, if your cuts are prominent, then automatically some stranger, he's going to come and he's going to affect you. That's also danger for yourself, and also other people going to be also protected from you, from your exposure. So, khair will come in this dunya. There is a lot of problems. Inshallah, they will be protected. And similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He have a reward for akhirat. So akhirat, there will be also a khair. So we have to live a modest life. We should not by the concept of any perspectives, anybody's thinking. We need to find out always what is Islamic perspectives, how Islam teaching us, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guiding us. So this is something we need to find out. We need to be curious about that and ask the scholars, inshallah, they will guide you. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفر ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ومن يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد عبدك ورسولك وصل على المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وأزواجه وذرياته. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أرحم أمتي بأمتي أبو بكر وأشدهم في أمر الله عمر وأصدقهم حياء عثمان وأخذاهم علي وفاطمة سيدة النساء أهل الجنة وحمزة أسد الله وأسد رسوله رضوان الله عليهم أجمعين. اللهم اغفر للعباس وولده مغفرة ظاهرة وباطنة لا تغادر ذنبا. الله في أصحابي لا تتخذوهم من بعد غرضا فمن أحبهم فبحبي أحبهم ومن أبغضهم وببغضي أبغضهم وخير أمتي كرني ثم الذين يلونهم ثم الذين يلونهم. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله يذكركم ولذكر الله تعالى أعلى وجل وتم وأكبر. أقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى فوجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر فأما السائل فلا تنهر فأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Allahu Akbar. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. As the Sheikh was saying that your rights come with responsibilities, and as you know, the ISCC election